The 2026 Lifetime Friend of the Fair Award. Here is a list of our previous winners. The 2026 Lifetime Friend of the Fair Award. And now, here's the Executive Director of the Nebraska State Fair 1868 Foundation, Lindsay Kepke.
Kenny was the first board member to take me to a potential donor to ask for funding. He said, Lindsay, I'm going to teach you how it's done. And I thought, wow, what a cool opportunity. We went in, we sat down, and Kenny said, listen, I'm going to need you to write me a check. And then he looked over at me and said, that's how you do it. And from then on, I knew that if Kenny Staab believed in a message, anybody that he asked to help support that message, they knew that this was the right thing to do and a great thing to get involved with. And then there began the growth of the 1868 Foundation.
Well, back in 1868, when Dad joined the foundation, no, just joking, before the State Fair actually came to Grand Island, Dad was involved with local community members, and they seen a real opportunity for the State Fair to come to Grand Island, and a group got involved in the foundation and built really, I'll say, a transition team of getting community involved, and not only was it beyond fundraising, but just getting the Grand Island to really step up. Great volunteer program and such, and it just was a vision by those local businessmen to see the great opportunity that the State Fair could bring to Grand Island.
We watched Kenny care deeply, show up when it mattered, and he worked hard to make the State Fair better for everyone. Following in his footsteps by serving on the board was not about replacing him, but it was more about carrying forward his legacy with humility, dedication, and heart.
A gentleman by the name of Kenny Staab called me for a donation. Subsequent to that, a person by the name of Lindsay at the fair followed up with another call for an additional donation. And as Kenny and I have always talked about, that you give and immediately somebody calls you back to give back to their pet project or their favorite organization, and that certainly happens in our community.
Well, let me tell you a story. When we were courting the State Fair, at that time the foundation could not go anywhere. It didn't know where it was going to go. Lincoln, stay where. So it was said, hey, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. So when it came to the foundation, the first person I thought about reaching out to was Kenny Staab. Now, if you call Kenny, he'll say, hey, I'm busy with Central Catholic, I'm busy with cattle, I'm business, family, and so forth. I don't know if I'll take on one more thing. But lo and behold, what a great selection, but a great person to have on the board with Kenny Staab.
13 years ago, a gentleman by the name of Kenny Staab called me up for a donation to the Nebraska State Fair, and that's where it all started for me. Subsequent to that, Kenny and I served on the board, and he was a great board member, a great mentor, and more importantly, just an all-around great person. That trickles down the traits to his kids, his grandkids, and now even his great-grandkids. What a wonderful family.
The entire Staab family has been involved with the State Fair, not just Kenny. Behind every great man is an even greater woman. Rosie has stood behind Kenny all of these years, supporting his efforts.
I will think he will be very surprised. But I know when he went on the foundation board and heard that the fair was coming to Grand Island, that was very important to him, and he wanted to be on board because he likes a challenge. And and so did the Staabs. They like a challenge. So I think he knew how important it would be for Grand Island and the community and for the state itself.
Kenny Staab is such an impactful leader, has been since the idea of a state fair in Grand Island came into existence. He did a lot to help that transition happen. He helped a lot during Grand Island years as well. So proud to be associated with him, and so thankful for the support that he has shown the state fair in so many different ways throughout the last 18 years.
I just always remember that when they were working on the fair, and when the kids came home and brought their kids, he always made it a point to take them over to Bonner, even if the fair was going on or not, to see the progress, because he was so proud of what they had accomplished, and he thought he wanted them to see it, to see what they had done for Nebraska.
I would tell Kenny that it is because of him that the fair is here and thriving. And I would say thank you for believing in the dream and working so that you made it happen for so many people.
You know, involvement in the community. Our family's been here for over 60 years, and I know that the community has been really good for us from a business standpoint, and we need to give back. And it's really easy to give back to good causes and such, and as close-knit as this community is, you know, we band together, and what's good for us is good for all. And so it's really easy to get behind that, and we want to give back to the community and to really and to just see Grand Island continue to grow and prosper.
Well, when Kenny came on the board, we were kind of an infant, so to speak. So we didn't have a whole lot of wherewithal, but through all the different vision of him and the board and so forth, and leadership, of course, now it's unrivaled. Ken was a big part of that success, and so proud of him, but also he's so pragmatic, and he's probably kind of cringing right now thinking, I really don't like all the attention. But nonetheless, very charitable person, open, honest, and just a great person.
Anything that he put his mind to, he would do, whether that was his family life, whether that was his professional career, the number of boards that he served on, and to give us the amount of time that he did, because he believed in the growth of the fair and he believed in a successful state fair in Grand Island. To give that time away from all of those other entities was tremendously important. We would not 100% would not be where we are today without the initial strong beliefs of a great supporter like Kenny Staab.
And the one thing I'll say this, Kenny and I sometimes are challenged through a board meeting of not being able to hear everything as best as we could. So I'm sure right now, Kenny, I'm sorry, maybe we should have had closed captioning on this video, but nonetheless, from one to another, and all of us on the board in our community, we're so proud of you and thank you for your service.
Congratulations, Dad. So a great award, and I know you spent tremendous amount of time over a lot of years being out here at the state fair and such, and you deserve this. Appreciate everything you've done, not only for the state fair but for Grand Island and for our family.
Congratulations, Kenny, on being our recipient of the 2026 Lifetime Friend of the Fair. It is certainly well deserved.
Congratulations, Kenny. I appreciate you. The fair appreciates you. Thank you for all you've done.
Congratulations, Kenny. Job well done.
I'm so proud of you, and so is your family and everyone in Grand Island and Nebraska.
Congratulations, Kenny Staab. You truly are a lifetime friend of the fair.
The 2026 Lifetime Friend of the Fair from the Nebraska State Fair 1868 Foundation. And now please a round of applause for Kenny Staab.